and welcome to episode 12 of the Roll the Tape podcast. I'm Jackson White alongside
Aiden McNally
and Jalen McKissick.
So today we're going to be recapping all the games that happened in the NFL divisional round. We'll be talking about the Bills' downfall and also be talking about the Houston Texans, a team that lost but have a bright future. Is Jordan Love a franchise quarterback, and can the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl?
And for the NBA, we have Doc Rivers headed to Milwaukee. Terry Rozier, Terry Two Beauties, is headed to Miami. Embiid, an impressive 70 points against the potential Rookie of the Year. Dominating performance. Is he the favorite to win MVP this year? And we're going to go over who our starting fives are for the East and West for the All-Star game. It is happening in Indy, and it's coming up soon.
And for our ending segment, we're going to go through our playoff pick predictions. Currently, Jackson's 7-3 with his predictions. Aiden's 4-6, and me, I am 6-4.
So now let's roll the tape and get right on into it. So divisional round football, 4 games took place. We'll get into the first one that took place on Saturday as the Baltimore Ravens, the 1 seed, taking on the Houston Texans. And well, this was Baltimore's game to have, and Baltimore took the game in dominant fashion, winning 34-10. Lamar Jackson once again shows that he is the MVP of the league. 2 touchdowns, 152 yards passing. Only had 6 incompletions. Also had 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns as well. Lamar an MVP, and the Houston Texans are sent packing.
Yeah, this game was like all Ravens, almost from the jump. The Ravens' defense was just dominating the Texans. C.J. Stroud, over these past few weeks, it's looked so easy to him to just come into the league and just show what he did at Ohio State. The Ravens just took all that away. I mean, they scored 10 points total. The Texans scored 10 points total, and 3 of those were a field goal, and 7 of those wasn't even the offense who scored. It was a kick return. So Ravens defense was the story in this one. Obviously, you can't say enough about Lamar Jackson, who I think will, claim the MVP after how he's been playing recently. But dominating win for the Ravens, and in my opinion, I don't really think there's a team as hot as the Ravens right now.
Yeah, at first I thought the Texans might, make this a game because it was 10-10 at halftime.
I mean, you picked them, right?
I did pick them. I thought their defense would play good like they did in the first half. Their defense played solid in the first half. That's the reason the Ravens only had 10 points. But in the second half, the Ravens just came out and just did what they do, dominate on the run game, passed down the field with Lamar Jackson. And C.J. Stroud and the Texans offense had no answer all game to the Ravens' stifling defense. So, the Texans are still a young rebuilding team, so they'll be back next year.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, I mean, really the Ravens made the Texans become one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And they made them become one-dimensional, and you make a rookie quarterback become one-dimensional, and, well, it could be bad. And, well, the Ravens just came out firing in the second half, and Houston had no answer. And then the Houston Texans go home, but for a rookie quarterback and a rookie head coach, winning a playoff game and winning your division is a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving along now to the game that happened later that night, which was a very good game, by the way, as the 1-seeded San Francisco 49ers took on the Green Bay Packers. In this one, it was a back-and-forth game, but overall, the 1 seed stood as well as the Niners won 24-21. And this game was just kind of iffy. Both quarterbacks played a little bad, you could say. I mean, Brock Purdy missed some throws, could have threw some interceptions that were dropped. He had 23 for 39 on his passing completions, which is not good. 252 passing and a touchdown. McCaffrey still did his thing on the ground, 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. And, well, Deebo Samuel went out early, which I think hurt the momentum and the smoothness of the 49ers offense. And the Green Bay Packers, they still did their thing, but just couldn't finish at the end. Jordan Love finished with 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And Aaron Jones had 100 yards on the ground. The Packers had a drive to either go tie and win the game. Love rolls out right and throws cross-body into the middle of the field in triple coverage, doing his best Brett Favre impersonation. Interception, Packers lose. But, man, that is just so I mean, if you could put that Vikings Brett Favre interception and that Jordan Love interception right there, if you put them together, it looks like almost the same play.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But Packers fall, Niners move on.
Yeah. I mean, if you were to tell me Green Bay was to get this far into the season, win a playoff game, and make it to the divisional round, I mean, I'd call you crazy. I mean, Jordan Love before this year, we basically knew nothing about him. We've seen some throws in training camp, some throws in practice, but we never really got a full grasp of him as a player. Yeah, he came in sometimes last season behind Aaron Rodgers in garbage time, and he looked okay. But for him to take this step, I don't think anyone expected him to. I think he was second in passing touchdowns in the league.
He was up there.
Yeah.
He was up there.
And then to make it to the divisional, I mean, you can't say enough about how good he was this year. And I think, I mean, we'll get to it here in a minute, but I think Jordan Love is definitely proven himself as a quarterback you can look to in the future. So I think you only have to build around him and grow with him and see what the team has. But as for the 49ers side, they didn't play their best football. I really don't think they did.
They looked rusty, and they looked like it was a gimme game.
Yeah, they didn't look good at all. And, I mean, having that bye week is really important, but it kind of shows that, I mean, some teams need that week of football to keep their momentum. I feel like that bye week really kind of ruined the 49ers' momentum, and you can kind of see that on the field. But, I mean, they pulled it off. I mean, got really lucky there, able to pull it out. I mean, Jordan Love, rookie-ish quarterback, you could call him a rookie quarterback. First year as a starter in playoff setting, has to make a game-winning drive. I mean, that's just not going to happen. So I think the 49ers did a good job closing it out, and they move on.
I think the Packers definitely should have won this game. Not off that last drive. That last throw by Jordan Love was awful.
Bad.
But they had a chance, the drive before the Niners took the lead, to go march down the field with like less than 5 minutes left, I think. It was definitely with like below 10 minutes left. And they had a chance to go down the field and score, and they didn't. If they would have went down and scored right there, I don't think the Niners win this game.
No.
I don't think the Niners win this game. Their offense was very hit or miss throughout the game. That Green Bay defense was really good this game. I mean, really good. They have some pieces on that team. The D-line played good. Secondary played good. They need to retain Jair Alexander no matter what.
The Green Bay Packers win. It did.
It definitely did.
All game. It felt like the Packers were going to come through. And, well, they just didn't. They just didn't have enough. And, well, the Niners can win ugly. Imagine if they're playing pretty.
Yeah.
It's not going to look good.
I think the one thing about the Niners, though, they need to shore up that run defense because they have Detroit coming up. And the
Detroit
one thing
is
about
a
Detroit is they're a run team.
Yeah.
Probably the best running offense.
I mean, you
in the
let
league.
Aaron Jones 18 carries, 108.
I mean, Aaron Jones isn't bad, though.
Aaron Jones isn't bad. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's not their. I don't think that's the Packers' main game. Is the run game? Is it?
I mean,
No.
I think Aaron Jones over the last 5 weeks has put over 100 yards like the past 5 weeks or something like that. He's played really good as of late. But should the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers or the backfield of like Javon Kinlaw and Fred Warner be giving that up? Probably not.
And especially since the Lions have a better O-line than the Green Bay Packers. That kind of scares me for the Niners next week, but we'll see.
By far, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think if Green Bay closes it, like you said, with like 5 minutes left, 6-7 minutes left, if they score on that drive, maybe,
we're talking about Green Bay
show flashes.
Lions.
I think we're talking about an NFC North matchup in the
conference final.
Yeah.
All right, moving along now to Sunday games, and we'll go ahead to Ford Field as the Detroit Lions took on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this game was really counterpunch until the end. But the Lions pulled through at the end, winning 31-23. The Lions have won now back-to-back playoff games after not winning a playoff game since the early 90s. The Lions won their first 2 playoff games in a very long time, both at home. But looking at this one, well, Jared Goff played all right. 30 for 43 passing, 287 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs had himself a decent game, 74 yards and a touchdown. David Montgomery didn't really get going, only had 33 yards. And Amos St. Brown still did his thing, 77 yards and a touchdown. But for the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, 349 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 55 rushing yards for Rashad White. Mike Evans had himself once again, a phenomenal day, 147 and 1 touchdown. K. Dotton also had himself a receiving touchdown as well. And while this game was really back and forth, really till the end, the Lions stood strong. But the Buccaneers had a chance at the end to go out there and go tie it. Baker Mayfield threw an interception. But this game really shows that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a very good team. And I think they're going to be very good next year if they can keep a lot of their pieces. They have a lot of free agents. But Detroit, they're going to the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
How about them Lions?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this whole game felt like cat and mouse. I feel like the Buccaneers took some leads in there, but I feel like this whole time they were just trying to outlast the Lions. And I know that's what you have to do to win a football game, but it felt like the Lions were going to score every drive, and the Buccaneers had to keep up with that, and they just couldn't. And obviously that showed. I mean, this Lions defense isn't necessarily good. I mean, Mike Evans had a $147, but it was the Buccaneers defense that really messed this game up. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, can't say enough about him. Can't say enough about Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, this Lions offense is just too sheer fire to stop, and I feel like that's the reason why they're moving on. I just feel like they just have the better roster all around.
I feel the same way. That Lions offense is really unstoppable. That's the reason why Ben Johnson's about to get a head coaching job. I don't know whether that be the Falcons, Commanders, Chargers, wherever it may be. He should get a head coaching job and show. I think Aaron Glenn should get a head coaching job too, the defense coordinator for the Lions. He doesn't have the greatest pieces on that defense,
but he makes it look good.
But he makes it look good. That defense is very opportunistic. They make plays when they need to. And that shows a good defense coordinator that calls the right plays. So the Lions, I think they're sneaky, contenders to win the Super Bowl. I think they can really upset the 49ers next week.
Yeah, and we'll get into that in a little bit with our big AFC and NFC championship picks at the end of the show. But moving along now to the final game of the divisional weekend. And, well, this was a good one, to say the least, and a heartbreak at the end, as the Buffalo Bills took on the Kansas City Chiefs, with the Chiefs coming out victorious 27-24. Mahomes only had 6 incompletions, 215 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Isaiah Pacheco also had 97 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Josh Allen, 186 yards passing, a touchdown, also ran it in twice with 60 to 72 yards as well on top of that. And this game was just very pretty back and forth. It really was. The Bills led at halftime. It kind of felt like the Bills kind of had all the momentum. And then at the end, well, the Bills just couldn't do it in the fourth quarter. They kind of went for a weird fake punt with
I don't know what Sean McDermott was thinking there.
On their side of the field.
On their side of the field.
And then, obviously, you get one of the best kickers in the league kicking a 41-yarder, and he misses wide right at the end to lose it. It's just it just seems like we've seen this story before from the Bills. I mean, we've seen it now, 3 straight years? Bills versus Chiefs in some ordinary fashion, and the Chiefs stand strong every time. It's just heartbreak. And, well, there's a thing about this guy in Kansas City, and he's a bad man. And, well, he don't lose. And he's been to 6 straight AFC championship games for a reason, or something like that. I think so. I think it's 6. And his name is Patrick Mahomes. And, well, everyone tried to count him out this season. Well, he didn't write back, to say the least. Yeah. Chiefs win.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I don't know how he keeps doing it, but he keeps getting to these AFC championship games, and I don't get it. I mean, this was a team that was 9-5 at one point with no momentum at all. Somehow they flip the script, finish 11-6, I believe, and then win 2 very good games in the playoffs. Now, Tyler Bass hits that kick. We could be talking about a different matchup.
You want to know what all this whole entire Chiefs talk this season kind of sounds like and what it feels like? It kind of feels like the New England Patriots almost every single year in the 2010s.
Yeah.
A team, besides a few years, a team that kind of is the favorite going in, starts really high, gets kind of really cold, and they're like, no way the Patriots can do it again. And they're led by Tom Brady, this guy Tom Brady, and, well, look at them. They always pulled through, and they'd go win a Super Bowl. And, well, looks like we're rewriting history in Kansas City.
That is what it feels like. So, speaking on the Bills, do we think that Sean McDermott's term is coming to an end?
I mean, how many years can you take of him doing the same exact things and not finishing?
He's a defensive coach, right?
I don't know. I don't know what he is.
I don't know if he calls anything. I don't think he does.
Well, he definitely had to. No matter what he calls,
He definitely okayed the
fake punt.
The fake punt.
That was insane. I don't know why you give it to DeMar Hamlin. He's like the last person. I mean, I get it. You're trying to show him off and all that.
I mean,
He's
fourth
like
and
your little
one
toy,
maybe. But it was like what?
Fourth and five. Fourth and five.
Fourth and 5 on your own side of the field?
On your own side of the field?
God.
That's a Dan
I think
Campbell
they
type
were
call.
losing at that point too, like 21-24, something like that.
Were they losing? No, they were up. They were up at that point, weren't they? And then Kansas City went down and scored.
I don't remember.
Let me
the
look
exact
it up.
Wasn't it
score,
like
but
20-24 at that point?
Let me look it up.
And then Isaiah Pacheco goes down and scores. That's how we became 27-24.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, there was a lot of different things in this game that happened, like the Nicole Harmon fumbling in the end zone for a touchback.
That was crazy.
I mean, this was the Bills' game to win, and they lost it.
But I think that one miss to Shakir over the middle that would have been a touchdown that Josh Allen missed. I know he kind of got rubbed up on by his left tackle because the defensive end pushed him into Josh Allen while he was kind of throwing. But if he completes that one or the Diggs like 50-yard bomb down the field that went straight through Diggs' hands. I mean, Diggs is a person that always complains. Not always, but we've seen him complain over the years about not getting enough touches, enough catches. And in the biggest game, in the biggest moment, the ball goes straight through his hands.
Yeah. It was a good pass.
It was a great pass.
And just,
right in the bucket.
I don't know. If you're the Bills, do you move on from Stephon Diggs?
I don't think you move on from Diggs. I think they didn't have Gabe Davis in this game either, who's another one of their big play guys. But I don't think not having Gabe Davis is enough of a reason to still lose the game.
If I'm Buffalo, I'd blow it up. I'm not saying like trade Josh Allen or anything, but
no.
I think you move on from. I think you move on a lot of guys.
I know one person you move on from is Von Miller.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so
buddy
the score was Chiefs Bills. The score was 27-24 Chiefs. So nobody scored the rest of this game from this point.
Okay.
With 13 minutes left on their own 30-yard line. So they were down 3 on their own 30-yard line with 13 minutes left.
And what was it, 4th and 5?
4th and 5, yeah.
That's a crazy call.
I mean, I could see it from a.
But 13 minutes left though.
Statistical purpose. I could see it from a kind of like, I don't know how y'all say it. I could understand it in a way.
In a way.
I could get it because it's 13 minutes left. No one would ever think someone would run a fake punt on your own 30.
No.
Down 3 with 13 minutes left. No one would.
Yeah.
So then it'd be caught off guard. But the way the play was ran, how DeMar Hamlin's right there, and I don't even know, I doubt he's ever in on that special teams punt team.
Maybe.
And then he was just kind of just moving. I don't know if you saw it. Like, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen. If you're going to run a fake punt, you don't make it obvious.
Yeah.
Especially on 4th and 5, I feel like a run is okay, but I feel like from that length it should dang near be a pass.
I think you're better just giving it back to the punter and having him throw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
If you're
then,
gonna do that,
I guess the Bills' defense did hold through and didn't let the Chiefs score still.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
but if I'm the Bills' defense and my coach calls a fake punt on 4th and 5 with 13 minutes left, that just shows that he has no confidence in us getting a stop. That he has to go for it on 4th and 5.
Yeah.
To try not to give the ball back to the offense because he thinks that that Chiefs offense is going to score on us.
Yeah.
Which is, me as a
I mean, I don't know. You can look at it two ways. The Bills were trying to sneak one.
Yeah.
They were trying to sneak one because they wanted their offense to go out and score. I don't think it's anything of defense. It's not like whenever New England went for it on 4th and 2 versus the Colts because they were so scared of Peyton Manning. I don't think it's that. I think they were just trying to sneak one because no one would expect it. And, well, it just didn't work. And that's going to be the telltale game. Let's say they get that fake punt and they go on to win the game, it's the best play we've ever seen.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
yeah.
It's just ultimately how it is. And while the Bills lose, and it's probably time to blow it up. I doubt they fire Sean McDermott because he wins the division every year and he takes them to the playoffs.
That's true.
But I think his seat is on fire next season if they do not basically go win it all. You have a top 3 quarterback in the league, a top 3 talent quarterback, top 5 talent quarterback probably ever.
Yeah.
And you should be having some rings on your fingers.
Yeah.
In Buffalo.
But the Bills definitely were hurt a lot throughout the whole entire team.
Yeah,
I mean, Gabe Davis was out, Tre'Davious White was out.
You can say the same about Kansas City. Every team's hurt.
I know, but a lot of their star players were hurt for Buffalo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't say the same for Kansas City, that their star players were hurt.
Yeah. Bills also have Von Miller.
Mr. Zero Sacks, $15 million a year.
Yeah, it's
He made
crazy.
like $2.5 million every tackle this season. He had like 5 tackles. He's just terrible.
Terrible.
But moving along now, the Houston Texans, a team that obviously lost to the Baltimore Ravens, with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback, now going to be in their second year. They get a whole off season to be together. They get a whole off season to really build that team. The Houston Texans are going to be really scary next year.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud, what he did this year, I don't think we've seen in a while. Maybe with like Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck was the last guy to do what he did.
Yeah, I
What,
mean,
playoffs as a rookie?
Playoffs as a rookie with the rookie
Rookie head coach.
I mean, yeah,
Chuck
and
Pagano, shout out.
then I don't know. I think C.J. Stroud might have had the hot take, but I want to say C.J. Stroud had the greatest rookie season of a great. I think he had the greatest quarterback rookie season of all time.
It's definitely up there.
I think he, because
I mean,
I wasn't really a big football fan back when Andrew Luck was a rookie.
I would say Andrew Luck's a little better because that was the year that Bruce Arians had to step in and be the head coach because Chuck Pagano had cancer. And also, people forget that Colts team prior to Luck coming there was horrible.
Terrible. That's how they got the first round. That's how they got
They
the
were
first overall pick.
2-14 and probably the worst offense the NFL's ever seen. They were so bad.
I mean, so was Stroud. Stroud took a 3-win team.
Yeah, but the Texans, the last year's Texans would whoop the 2011 Colts. Whoop the
Who
2011
was Andrew Luck
Colts.
passing to that year?
T.Y.? Was T.Y. on the team at that point?
He was
Or was that like old Reggie Wayne?
It was an
old Reggie
Wayne, a very, very rookie T.Y. Hilton, who didn't really even come to the offense.
Was it a young Jack Doyle?
I believe it was a young. I think Pierre Gasson was still there.
Not Pierre Gasson.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who he was throwing to, but the receiving core in Houston was better. Reggie Wayne was still elite, but he wasn't. He was slowing down.
So would you say Nico Collins is better than Reggie Wayne?
Well,
in
no,
that
I would say
stage?
Reggie Wayne is better than Nico Collins, but I would say Tank Dell's better than T.Y. Hilton at the time.
Yeah, but
T.Y.
I
Hilton
agree
didn't come
with
into
that.
his own until year 3.
I mean, I
Luck
agree
had
with
more
that.
passing yards and one less game.
I agree with that, but C.J. Stroud didn't have Tank Dell the whole second half of the year and was still putting up these numbers.
Well, was
Still
Andrew Luck
winning
ever
games.
considered in the MVP conversation during his rookie year?
Yeah.
He was? I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I just didn't know.
He was in the MVP convo. I mean, he beat Seattle that year. Then they won the Super Bowl that year. Well, no, they didn't. They won it the year after. Just excuse that. But I mean, that Colts defense was not that good. It was actually really bad. They still had to write Freeney and Robert Mathis, but that was basically the end of Freeney's prime, and Mathis still was good for a few more years. But
We're definitely putting it above
they had the
Herbert season.
Yeah, I mean Herbert, what he do in his rookie season?
I know he had like the
Won,
most passing
5
yards
games.
of like
Luck
any
has the
rookie.
most passing
I
yards.
thought it was Herbert.
No, Herbert has the most passing touchdowns.
Touchdowns as a
Yeah.
rookie. Does he still hold that?
Don't know. Stroud might have it now, but I know passing yards is Luck with 44.
4,400?
Yeah.
Mm.
And he did it in one less game with having 2 head coaches. Bruce Arians actually won Coach of the Year that year
Did he win Coach of the Year that year?
as an intern. I mean, that's how we got the job in Arizona.
What was he? He was a DC at that time? Or was he like a
I believe he was the
position coach?
offense coordinator.
He was offense coordinator? I thought he was a DC. Maybe he was an OC.
He's an offense coach
I had no idea.
because he was a quarterbacks coach with Manning in Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh.
Hey, now he's up there in Tampa.
Now he's just kind of looking at the stuff, looking it over.
Yeah. He isn't making. Does he make it? Is he like a consultant now? I think he's a consultant.
Yeah, he's kind of a consultant.
Oh, he's not a coach. I know that. I think he's a consultant.
He's just
up in
on
Tampa.
staff.
He's on staff. If they win a Super Bowl, he'll get a ring.
Oh yeah,
He'll get a ring.
there's been a few times he's been on the field, like coaching.
Yeah, I mean, he won the Tom Brady one. He was the head coach for that
Yeah,
one.
he was.
I don't know. This is close. I mean,
What are you looking at?
Andrew Luck versus C.J. Stroud. I mean, Andrew Luck had 4.3K yards. C.J. Stroud had 4.1. C.J. Stroud played one less game.
Stroud played one last game?
One less
I forgot
game.
he missed 2 games. I forgot about
Yeah, he
that.
did.
Stroud 63% completion percentage. Andrew Luck 54.
Ugh.
Luck 23 touchdowns. Stroud 23 touchdowns. Luck 18 interceptions. Stroud 5 interceptions.
Oh, that is pretty.
QBR. Andrew Luck 76. Stroud 100.
I mean, statistically, looking at that, I would say Stroud.
Stroud.
Yeah.
But looking at where Luck got the team,
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's very close.
Yeah.
I think it's close. I think it's a toss-up. Whoever you think, either or.
Yeah.
There's
It's
no
definitely
wrong
close.
answer really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think Herbert's a step below them because he didn't make the playoffs.
He did not make the playoffs. He should have made the playoffs. They were close, right? They were close that year. Like
2020
No,
Was
I
2020?
don't think they were
COVID year. I
close.
think they had like 6 wins.
6
Let me
wins.
see.
I'm not sure. I think that was the year before that one where they wanted to tie with the Raiders.
With the Raiders, that was the year before.
That was the year after, I thought.
No.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, you're right. Yeah, that was the year they were supposed to tie.
his
It
rookie
was?
year.
That was his rookie year?
I think so because the Raiders, his rookie year, the Raiders went 8-8. Chargers went 7-9, but actually I don't think the Raiders made the playoffs this year. Hold on, let me go 1 year later, see if.
Hey, we do stuff on the fly, you know. It's
Okay,
just
yeah.
how it is.
Okay, so it was Justin Herbert's sophomore season.
Was the
where it was
tie?
like the tie? Thing,
Okay,
the
okay.
timeout. Yeah. So the year before that was Justin Herbert's.
That video will always be infamous of Derek Carr
Derek
walking
Carr
over
calling
to
a
the
timeout.
ref.
Man, that was kind of crazy.
That was
It
kind of
was.
crazy.
Yeah, his
And then
first year he went 6-9, yeah.
The fact that they really could have tied, and Derek Carr and who was the head coach at that point? Josh McDaniels said, "Nah."
No,
Nah.
at that point I think it was John Gruden.
Was it still John
It
Gruden?
wasn't
No, it
Gruden,
wasn't.
No,
Gruden.
it was Josh
No.
McDaniels like first year, I think.
No, it was Gruden's
Interim.
Interim.
yeah.
Who was it? Oh, Versace. Rick Versace. Is it
Yeah.
Versace?
I liked him, the special teams coach.
Yeah. Now he's.
I like their current coach
Where's
better.
he at
though.
now?
I think he's at Green Bay.
He's
in Green Bay.
He's Green Bay. Yeah.
I do like Antonio Pierce. I think
That's
he'll be a
right.
really good coach.
He's in Green Bay because special teams was literally the reason why the Packers lost to the Niners in that divisional round game.
Well, I mean, they got I don't know why they drafted a kicker that kicked like 50% in college. It just
Yeah.
it just
That's
doesn't
a
make
great
any
question.
sense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But moving along now to the Packers.
Yeah.
Jordan Love is a guy who obviously had over 30 passing touchdowns this season. Led the Packers to a playoff victory and almost won them 2 playoff games. The question is Jordan Love a franchise quarterback? And I would really hope this whole room agrees. I think it has to be a yes and a yes and a yes. Jordan Love is a very good player. Nobody thought he'd do what he did this season, and he looked a little shaky at midseason, but he came out, he finished strong, even though that last interception was bad versus the Niners. He'll
Yes,
grow
it
from it.
was.
This was technically his rookie year. So, is Jordan Love a franchise quarterback? I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah, if you compare Jordan Love's first-year starter stats to Aaron Rodgers' first-year starter stats, Jordan Love actually has better stats than Aaron Rodgers when it comes to their first years as a starter. But to take this receiving core of not even Christian Watson, because he didn't even play at all this year, really, of like Romeo Doubs, Wicks, Jaden Reed. I mean, that's crazy. And, I know you have run support with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I know you have a, above average offensive line. But, I mean, I don't think slap like Brock Purdy in that system. I think that Packers team is winning like 6 games. No diss to Brock Purdy, but
Purdy's good. Not Purdy. Love's good.
Yeah.
He is. He's a top 15 quarterback, I think.
I would agree. After this late season run, I mean,
I'd agree.
especially since his lack of, turnovers and when it mattered late in the season and, 30-plus touchdowns by any first-year starter is impressive, and that's exactly what he did. He took a team that nobody thought would make the playoffs, and he made the playoffs, and he won a game. He beat Dallas at Dallas, a team that was 8-0 at home before that Packers game. So, I mean, there's also the speculation that I heard like a rumor that the Packers are planning to make Jordan Love the highest paid QB in the league, which I find a little,
that'd be pretty sick.
That would be crazy.
Which I find a little bit outrageous, but he definitely deserved to get paid.
Yeah,
just not at that rate. But yeah, I think he should be the QB moving
There's
forward.
no way he gets paid as much as Lamar's making. I mean, NFL GMs didn't even want to pay Lamar that money, and Lamar's way better than
what is he
Jordan
making?
Love
Like
is.
60 mil?
Something like that.
Oh.
And he negotiated his own contract, which is insane.
Yeah.
But I think Jordan Love can definitely. Do we think he's the best quarterback in this division right now?
Yes.
Yes, he's better than Jared Goff.
I think so.
Yeah, we had this talk last
Put
week.
Jordan Love in Detroit.
I'd say he has the most talent out of the division.
Yeah, I think I'd still put Goff ahead of him right now.
I don't know.
I think Goff is fringe top 10 right now.
I mean, I would say Love has more talent than
I
Goff.
say Love has more talent. I think
but
I
I would
just
say right now,
I need
Goff.
one more season of Love. I need one more season before I put him over
I
Goff.
think
Yeah,
if we're
I'd
talking about
agree.
talent, I think it's Love, Fields, Goff,
Okay, but
Kirk. I mean,
If we're talking about potential, it's Love, Fields, Goff, Kirk. But if we're talking about
we've been talking about potential for Fields for years,
for 3 years, yeah.
and we'll keep on talking about it until he's out of the league.
you never
Yeah.
know that Seattle offense coordinator, he's coming. You
Yeah,
never know
Shane Waldron.
his
Yeah.
system might look different.
Yeah.
He might be good under
Yeah.
that system. You never know.
Hey, I'd like to see Fields succeed, but I just don't know if he will.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's the candle is starting to.
Starting to fade. The light's starting to fade.
If
It's
he
burn
has
out a
another
little bit.
midseason, he's gone after
Oh,
this year.
yeah.
That's a guarantee.
I think if the Bears don't win, if you
and then the
go
Bears
out,
are going to look like bozos
Not
whenever they
drafting
didn't
Caleb
draft Caleb Williams.
well, if you go out and like trade back and draft like a Rome or maybe even a Marvin Harrison Jr. and then still build off of that defense and offense in the offseason, build a stronger roster and don't win a double-digit amount of games, I think Fields might have to go.
I think if you go out and get Justin Fields, another guy like you said, like a Rome or a Marvin Harrison Jr., and he still struggles. I mean, you're giving him two. I mean, if they get Marvin Harrison Jr., he's probably going to enter the league as a top 10 receiver.
Yeah.
And then you already have DJ Moore, who's a top 10 receiver.
Yeah.
And you have a
Darnell Mooney.
God. The most disappointing player in the NFL this year,
you
easily.
do have him.
Cole Kmet's top 10 though.
You have a
Yeah.
good tight end, and you have an improving offensive line.
No running game support, though. But
Yeah, but hopefully they can get that figured out.
Saquon Barkley to Chicago.
Blake Corum in the 4th round.
Draft another 5'6" running back alongside Khalil Herbert.
He's next to Tariq Coleman. But, yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting. Moving along now to another team in that division there. Can the Lions really make the Super Bowl? It would be the story of the year. Detroit Lions in the Super Bowl. And I think there is a legitimate chance they go into San Fran this weekend and they beat the 49ers. And, man, I'm all here for it. Let's go Lions.
Yeah, with how the Niners looked this past week, with how the Niners looked this past week versus the Packers, and how the Lions looked against the Bucks, right now, I mean, I would say the Lions are the better team. Now, this is going to be a 49ers home game, and that has tend to matter a lot this postseason, because not a lot of away road teams have won in the postseason this year. But, I mean, if the Lions beat the 49ers, I mean, this is a team that the 49ers are a team that we're thinking about giving the Lombardi Trophy to in like week 6. I mean, they've been dominant all year. Besides that 3-game losing streak, if they go out and I don't want to say dominate, but look like noticeably better than the 49ers and beat San Francisco at Levi Stadium, I think they can maybe even win the Super Bowl. I don't know. It's close.
I think if they do make the Super Bowl, which is a tough task because you have to go against the best roster left in the playoffs right now, I think they can beat the Chiefs, like going offense for offense. If you go on band for band, offense for offense, I think they can beat the Chiefs. Ravens, it's a little bit different because that Ravens defense is elite.
Yeah.
Best defense probably left in the playoffs right now, going off of like what they've done this season.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
they have to beat the 49ers first. And I think what they need to do to win that game is have a dominant run game. If they can get Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery going and play action off that, get those safeties up inside the box, go over the top with Amon-Ra, Sam Laporta, shoot, even Jameson Williams is having a good playoff series, a couple playoff games. And Jared Goff is slinging that thing. I don't think he's had an interception this postseason. So he's keeping the ball safe. He's making good reads, good throws. I don't see why not.
And the Lions team is a team that we thought, like, at the beginning of the season, yeah, they should win their division. We didn't thought they were going to make it. They would make it this far. I mean, NFC Championship game. I mean, if they can win this game, it'll be impressive. If they do, it's going to be a tough task going into San Fran with that atmosphere.
That's the task, you know.
That is the task.
But I agree. If they go on to beat the 49ers, I think they beat the Chiefs, but I don't think they beat the Ravens. I don't know. This will be a test. This game will be the test.
Ravens-Lions Super Bowl would be fun.
That's what I'm saying.
I would be fun.
I would sit down and watch every single minute of that.
I just don't want to see Mahomes in it. If Mahomes is in there, I might not even watch.
Taylor Swift surprise halftime show during the halftime show. It's a halftime show in the halftime show.
But moving along now to the NBA segment of the show. And just recently, a few days ago, well, the Milwaukee Bucks fired their head coach,
Adrian Griffin,
out of nowhere after being 30-13.
The Tyrese Halliburton effect.
And said, well, we need a head coach. What will we do? Let's go get Doc Rivers, a coach who hasn't done anything since 2009.
No, it was 08.
2008. A coach that can't get past the second round.
Nope.
I don't understand it. I'm so confused why the Bucks did this.
Reports of what I've seen is he lost the locker room.
I mean, I could understand that after losing to the Indiana Pacers 4 times.
4 times.
But
I mean, weren't you the one that said that there's a video of Giannis literally drawing
there
up
was a video
play?
of the last game of Adrian Griffin's tenure. He was Giannis was on the bench drawing up plays on the chalkboard.
yeah, but why do you go out and get Doc Rivers?
I don't know. Now I don't understand why you go get Doc Rivers.
They're both bad.
I'm looking at his past games. I mean, past coaching seasons. He hasn't been to the Eastern Conference Finals since 2010, or the conference finals, West or East, because he coached in the West for a little bit with the Clippers. We all know about those Clippers teams. They were notorious for losing in the second
Austin
round.
Rivers.
Notorious for losing in the second round. Those teams could never get past the second round. That's why CP3 never got a ring.
Same
those
with
Clippers teams suck.
the Sixers of late.
Sixers.
They
Even those Boston teams after the Big Three disbanded, trash. I mean, absolutely terrible. Like they win in 08, 66 wins. The next year they have 62, then 50, then 36, then 39, then 41.
Did you see the other coaches they were looking at?
It was like Stan Van Gundy.
And guess who else?
It was Nate McMillan. If they would have hired Nate McMillan, I would have been the happiest man in the world because that dude is terrible. As a Pacers fan, who that
Pacers 2 seed
as
loss.
a Pacers fan who had Nate McMillan on the as a head coach for like 3 years, that man is
He's so
terrible.
bad.
No,
He's
personally,
so bad.
for me, Nate McMillan, I think we need to start having a conversation. He's a top 3 coach of all time.
Nate McMillan blows. I mean, he went from the Pacers to the Hawks, made the Hawks bad, then was an assistant coach for the Hawks. Their coach gets fired. He comes back as the head coach of the Hawks. They're still bad, and they gets fired. Like, it's terrible for Nate McMillan.
Nate McMillan is a guy who was always a defensive coach. But I don't know. I watched a lot of Pacer games under the Nate McMillan era, and he said, Victor Oladipo, just go ISO to win the game. Yep. Oh, you don't want to draw up a play?
Nope.
Nah.
He's got it.
He's got
Prove why you're a top 10 player in the NBA.
Yeah, if they hired Nate McMillan, I would have said they could have missed the playoffs. He's that bad.
Yeah.
But Doc Rivers, I mean,
I didn't even know Doc Rivers coached Orlando back in the day.
Everyone's like, yeah, he did when he was younger. Before
6 years.
Before
has Doc
Boston.
Rivers? Here's the thing, though: has Doc Rivers ever had as dominant of a superstar as he had with
Embiid.
as he has with Giannis? Embiid.
And then he had.
And then he had prime
KG.
Blake Griffin, who was insane.
He had prime Blake Griffin, prime KC. I mean, not KCP. God, not KCP.
Whoa! All right.
Hey, yo.
Prime CP3,
and prime Blake Griffin,
and then he had
prime DeAndre Jordan,
and then he had Ray Allen, Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce.
Okay,
but
that
team
was
won a
like
Super Bowl. But I could have coached that team, and that team would have won an NBA
Yeah, but
championship.
he only won one.
that.
with
Like
that
everyone on
team.
that team was like 34
they went
at that
to-
point.
Yeah, I mean that was.
But they did beat they didn't beat LeBron that year. That was LeBron's final year in Cleveland, wasn't it?
Yeah,
08?
they beat they beat the Lakers in the NBA championship, but
Was that the Pau Gasol Kobe era?
yeah,
Or was that just Kobe? Was Pau Gasol not even there yet?
not Powell.
Pau was
Pau
there.
was there in
Yeah.
08?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He was.
He's
Yeah,
old.
he got traded there in 07.
Mm.
But I mean, he obviously, as everyone says, he's a championship pedigree coach. He's won one championship
one
with
championship.
a super team.
what
Yeah.
year was that, and
08.
with what team?
08 Boston.
He won in 08 with Boston.
So that was what? Paul Pierce, Ray Allen.
Rajon
Yeah,
Rondo,
all-
Ray
that-
Allen,
those
Kevin Garnett.
guys.
Yeah, that's like
Who
the
was their
modern.
center?
Perkins.
Oh, it was Big Perk. That's
Big
why
Perk.
Perk has that one ring that he always flexes.
God, Big
Hey,
Perk
he
is
almost
so
won it
bad.
with OKC.
No, I guess he did. He did go to the championship.
Imagine.
Man, what was that? He didn't do nothing in OKC. Did you ever watch OKC?
Oh
OKC
yeah,
games?
I mean, I had season tickets to that. To like whenever he played there. When it was, I had season tickets when it was Russ, James, KD, Serge, Kendrick, and I mean Kendrick Perkins was very solid center. I mean he
He did what he had to do.
he'd play defense and rebound.
Put him
and
in
that's all you had
put
to
him in
do.
the league now in his prime. He's averaging 2 and 2.
He's a glorified.
Oh no, he'd
business
average
guy.
no, he'd average 4 points, but he'd also average like, 13 boards. I mean,
Yeah.
with an offense with Russ, KD, and James, there's nothing. You don't have to score.
Just set some hard screens.
Just set
roast
some
the
hard
basket.
screens and get some O-rebs, and you're good.
Yeah, it's funny. Kevin Durant's always all that dude did was set screens. That's it.
I mean, yeah.
That's about it. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just doesn't make too much sense to me. Maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But
Yeah.
Oh, I think they'll finish the season out strong. I mean, they were already 13
you
and
have
what was it,
Giannis
30 and 30.
Dame, and you're gonna finish the season out strong.
What are they, 30 and
It's
13
just-
right now?
It's just when that second round rolls around, if
Yeah.
they're playing Philly, they might tie. It's just I don't know what's going
Oh,
to
if they
happen.
play any other team other than like a bottom 4 team in the East,
I don't think Doc Rivers makes them any better.
me either.
I don't think
That's
Doc.
why I understood. That's why I think this firing was so unnecessary.
Especially in the middle of the season.
I mean, he lost the locker room, and you
Yeah,
want a
he lost
coach
the
that's
locker
going to
room.
bring the locker room. One thing Doc Rivers does, he does bring guys together,
Yeah, it's true.
but it just I just don't know if it necessarily helps them. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not like it adds them an extra shooter. It's not like it adds them an extra ball handler and Dame's off the court.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't add them that. I think if the Bucks want to be a championship contender, which I still think they are, but if they want to be the favorite, I think they need to make a trade.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think they need to go after
being
a
a
guy like
second
a
round to
Malcolm
exit, being a second round to exit with James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid
Embiid.
is
They should have beat Boston last
with
year.
good.
Don't
pieces.
forget, he also had that
Crazy.
team with Jimmy Butler and Embiid and Tobias Harris
They lost to Toronto.
and lost to Toronto.
JJ Redick too.
JJ Redick was on that team too.
He was loaded.
It was a loaded team. And then Jimmy Butler got traded to Minnesota. Or he signed with Minnesota. He get traded or he signed?
He signed.
He signed with Minnesota.
Wait,
Or was that the year?
No,
Or
he signed.
no, hold on.
no, he got traded from
He
Minnesota.
got traded
to
from Minnesota to
Philly, and then
Philly,
he
and then
signed
signed
with
with
Miami after
Yeah.
Philly.
Sorry, I got my timeline mixed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little jacked up. But moved along to a trade that happened. Terry Rozier gets traded to the Miami Heat.
Oh, Terry,
Two beauties.
Terry Rozier, a guy who's having a career year, averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, going to the Heat, which is a team that was desperate of another player like that. Does this make the Heat more of a favorite in the East?
I mean, I don't know if it makes them a favorite in the East, but it proves that this Eastern Conference is starting to get more and more competitive. I mean, when the season started, we were all thinking, yeah, this Eastern Conference is just going to be top heavy with Philly, Milwaukee, and Boston. But as these trades are starting to circulate, OG gets traded to New York. He's 9-1 with the Knicks so far since he got traded there. Terry Rozier, he's averaging 23 a game. He gets traded to Miami, gives them another good guard, which is what they needed. And I think it's only adding fuel to the fire of this Eastern Conference and to this Eastern Conference. I mean, Pascal Siakam's another trade that happened. I mean, this Eastern Conference is starting to get very, very strong and deep. I mean, you look at it, Boston first, Milwaukee second, Philly third, Cleveland is another team. They're not going to make a move, but they're insane. Miami, is going to be good now with Terry Rozier. Pacers are going to be good with Siakam once Tyrese returns from injury. Knicks are going to be good with OG. I mean, that's 7 teams.
Don't forget about the Magic.
And the Magic,
Orlando
but
Magic.
they've fallen off a little as of late, so I won't mention them with these, and they haven't made any crazy moves.
Yeah, but I still think they'll be the 8th seed once playoffs roll around.
Yeah, but I mean that's 7 teams that are deep and can make a run for home court advantage in the spring.
Oh, I mean, Miami is a place where people come to shine. I mean, they sign at least one G Leaguer a year that just turns out to be a absolute either sharpshooter, defensive guide,
Max Strus,
or he's either a defensive guide, a sharpshooter, or he just plays all around good basketball. And Terry Rozier, you add that kind of scoring into this team that really, I wouldn't say they need a scorer because they have guys like Jimmy Butler, Bam, Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez off the bench, who's like number 3 in Rookie of the Year favorites. He's not gonna win it obviously, but he's still pretty good. But Terry, 20 points per game, 6 assists. I mean,
it's like 6-7 assists. Yeah,
6 assists. I mean, I don't think he's a point guard. I still think they need a true point guard to run the show.
Yeah,
I think he's more of a 2, more of a secondary ball handler. He's not much of a 1, but still, that team looks dangerous. I can't lie. As a Eastern Conference fan, that team scares me. If I was to play them first round, especially from one of those top 3 teams, I don't want to see Miami in the first round.
Yeah, and I mean, if we look at it at Charlotte's point of view with trading for Kyle Lowry and getting a first-round pick, I mean, that first-round pick is going to be important. Kyle Lowry's a superstar, so I think potentially this Hornets team could make a run too.
Nah, Kyle Lowry's going to get bought out in the next week.
Kyle Bubble.
Who's he going to go to, though?
Who's going to go? Probably a contender. I don't know what team really needs a point guard right now, though.
The Los Angeles Lakers.
The Lakers. I mean,
everybody's
also
connected to the Lakers.
DeJounte Murray's going to get traded out of the East.
Yeah, but he's not. I think he's probably going to get traded to the West.
Well, I was saw the asking price for Murray is most likely going to be 2 first-round picks and a player that could turn into a star.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is just...
That's kind of a lot for a 28-year-old. I know he's good, but he's 28.
I just don't know what team has that. The Lakers don't.
The Thunder do.
I mean, yeah. But
Thunder.
I don't think the Thunder need him, though.
What player that would turn into a star?
Josh Giddey.
A star? I mean, I don't think Josh Giddey's going to be a star on this
Terrence
league.
Mann.
Okay, buddy.
Hey, don't sleep on Terrence Mann. When Terrence Mann gets minutes, he puts up points.
Danilo Gallinari.
Isn't he like 29?
Terrence Mann? No, he's like his third
27.
year?
I thought he was old. I thought he was older. I thought he's just been a bench player his whole year.
I mean, I thought like he was younger too, and then I looked up how old he was.
He's 27.
Like, yeah, he's old. Like no one wants him.
Well, no, not Terrence Mann.
Trey Man.
Trey Man.
Trey Man, he's good, but he doesn't do jack squat on the Thunder.
I meant to say Terrence Mann is even on the Thunder. I don't know why y'all let me think that Terrence Mann was on the Thunder. I meant Trey Man.
It's not like the Thunder are going to go out.
He ain't going to be a star, and
Yeah.
I don't know why the Thunder would go out and trade for DeJounte Murray.
They're not going to. That was the first team I saw.
I don't even know if the Thunder are going to make a trade in general.
No,
hey, they're the 1 seed now.
Now that Marketing's off the board, there's really no one else on the Pascal's off the board too. There's really no one else that y'all can really go get.
Yeah.
Star wise, y'all can go get like a role player, but star wise, I don't see anybody that y'all are getting. Y'all do have to make a trade though. You have too many first round picks.
Oh yeah, and no rebounding.
And no rebounding.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
I mean, would you pair a center up with a Hunger?
I don't know.
I feel like a 6'8" to 6'10" power forward would do the
A name
job.
that I've like to throw around is Jonathan Isaac. That's a good
Robert
piece.
Williams.
Robert Williams.
Robert Williams.
If he can
Although
shoot,
he's going to
maybe.
be like out for the, isn't he just like out for the rest?
I saw he was out, like on the trade block.
He's
I'm
on the
like,
trade
isn't he
block.
hurt?
I already
Yeah,
trade for
I thought he
John.
was hurt. I thought he like torn a whole ligament in his knee.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did
he's out for a while. I think. I don't know about the season, but I know he's out.
I know. I just was that's a name,
But John Isaac would be cool for the Thunder. I feel like.
but I don't know if the Magic. Would
I also like Hartenstein. Hartenstein would be good. I mean, Chet played the 4 at Gonzaga behind Drew Timmy his whole career. I know Chet's technically taller and all that, but
Do they bring in
Chet
Drew
played the
Timmy?
four.
in?
Maybe they bring in Drew Timmy off the G League squad. I don't know what G League squad he's in, but
He's on the
somewhere.
Bucks G League.
he
though.
won't
Is he?
do. He won't rebound. We need a rebounder like bad.
You guys need an Andre Drummond.
Hey,
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Drum
Andre
God.
You know what? I saw a report earlier. Me and Aiden both saw the same report. The Lakers are thinking about trading for Andre Drummond to guard Jokic in the playoffs.
What?
Yeah.
Just
Just his kryptonite.
Man, the Lakers just need to get out of here. They need to go be sent to some other league. I'm so sick of the Lakers. The
If there's
Lakers
any
are
person
just,
on the trade block,
they're always mid.
How long is LeBron and AD's contract for? Do we know?
LeBron's up this year. AD's probably like 2 more years.
LeBron going back to Miami.
LeBron's probably not going back.
You
to
heard it
Miami.
here first.
LeBron's
LeBron-
gonna go to the Pacers.
LeBron might retire.
What?
I'm joking.
No,
What?
LeBron
LeBron's
is
not gonna
not
retire.
retire. He's not retiring until Bryce is in the league.
You think?
He's gonna be here for a
That's
while.
only like 3 more years, realistically, unless Bryce like takes another year. I think
I-
Bryce is going to be better than Bronny.
I agree. I think Bronny should take another year.
Bronny's going to take another. There's no way Bronny declares.
Bronny doesn't declare.
He
so-
might. I would be. I'm pretty sure he is going to declare.
He's not going to be lottery unless they just think that LeBron's going to
Name
sign
brand.
with them because they have Bronny.
Imagine the Magic in him.
I swear to God, please don't. The Magic have too many good forwards on their team already.
Man,
Don't give them LeBron.
Man, that'd be insane.
Imagine Imagine a lineup of Franz at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Powell at the 4.
Then
That'd be a
Goga
lot of-
Batadze at
Goga
the
Batadze at the
5.
five.
Oh my.
What a lineup.
What a squad.
Okay. Goga Batadze.
Goga.
Goga Batadze.
That's something. But moving along now, Joel Embiid, 70 points a few nights ago. Is he the favorite to win MVP? I mean, it has to be yes.
It
If
is
he can
yes.
stay healthy and make those first play 65 games this season, I think Embiid has to be the clear-cut favorite to win MVP.
Yeah. 70 points in a game is absurd. And I don't think we're going to see that the rest of the season. Obviously, we saw it with Donovan Mitchell last year, but that was also a pretty rare occurrence. We saw it with Damian Lillard. We saw it with Devin Booker, but that's like years ago. But for Embiid to drop 70 points, it shows a lot. And I think that this was his game that he's proven that he is the unanimous, I don't want to say unanimous MVP, but unanimous number 1 right now. I don't really think any other, unless something crazy happens and he just hits this crazy downfall or gets hurt and misses 9 more games, he can only miss 9 more games to be eligible for the award. I think that if none of that happens, I think Embiid has to win it again. And I think the really the only players that could really take that spot over him are Shea and
Jokic.
I want to say.
Yeah, that's about it. I
That's
mean, Tatum was
about
up there
it.
for a little bit, but I don't think Tatum is in the. I mean, his team is just too good.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. Obviously he's the best player on a good team, but that team would be good without him.
Yeah.
You take Shea off the Thunder, they're trash. You take Jokic off the Nuggets, they might still be okay, but they won't be contenders.
contenders.
You take Embiid off the Sixers, they're not contenders.
They're bad.
They're a play-in team.
You take
at
Jason
best.
Tatum off the Celtics, they'll still be a playoff team.
They'll still be a home court advantage team.
Yeah, because Jaylen Brown is a guy who can give you 30. Kristaps
Can give you also give you 30
30. Drew Holiday's going to give you solid defense, and Derek White's shown this season that he can give you 20
and play solid defense.
and play solid defense. I mean, so I don't think Tatum is in the running. I really think it's between Embiid at 1, Shea at 2, Jokic at 3.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think.
agree.
I mean, Shea. I mean, it's impressive. I mean, what were the Sixers seed last year? I mean, like 4th,
I think they were top 3.
They were top 3. They were like 3.
3. I mean, the Thunder last year were 10th, and now they're crowned at the top of the Western Conference. Now, if they lose 2 games in a row, they'll drop back to 4. But it's still impressive that they will. I mean, at this late in the season, are almost planting themselves as locks to have home court advantage in the playoffs. So, I mean, what Shea's doing with his team, it's very impressive. But Embiid dropping 70 is you can't fathom that. I mean, that doesn't happen. So, I think it has to go Embiid as of right now. But I would put Shea 2 and Jokic 3, and then after that, I don't think there's really anyone realistically that would win it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But moving along now to the All-Star starters. When are they coming out?
Well, the final results came out. The final results, like the final data for voting was like a couple days ago, so they'll probably come out sometime. I want to say either
Thursday, maybe? I mean, I know it's soon.
it should be at least by the end of this week, early next week.
It
because
usually happens on Tuesdays and Thursdays because that's whenever Kenny, Shaq, and all them are.
Yeah, so it should probably happen Thursday for
They
the
might,
final
but,
results.
we're going to go ahead and pick our starting fives for the East and West. And I'll just hop right into it, starting with the Western Conference. I think the center for the Western Conference is going to be Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
I think that's pretty clear.
No surprise.
No surprise.
I also think Kevin Durant will start at the 4 and then at the 3. I'm going to have to go with their captain, LeBron James. I think LeBron gets the nod.
Yeah, he's leading in voting, I think.
Yep,
between
and then going in the backcourt, I'm going to have to go with point guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and then I'll take Luka Doncic to be the other 2 guard there. Stephen Curry is a guy who I'd really like to put in there, but I would say Doncic and Alexander have both had better seasons than Curry.
And do they officially, so like the fan voting, do they actually go off of that?
Yeah, for the starters.
I'm not sure if it's fully. I think it's
Because like last time I checked, I
Well,
think
it's-
they have
it's-
Steph over like.
Yeah, currently
has
Steph
more
has more
votes.
votes, but it's definitely weighted.
It's
Well,
weighted.
it's weighted
Sorry.
because
it's
Zaza
not. It's not.
Pachulia
It's
would have been
not
an all-star.
just all off of fan voting. It's weighted.
So-
It's like I think it's like 30%
Vote Killian,
fans.
vote Killian Hayes into the All-Star game.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because for some reason, like
Yeah.
Austin Reeves is like 9th in like Western guards. He's not going to make the
course.
All-Star team.
No, but so that's my starting 5. It's weighted. The votes do matter, but they don't matter as much. It's about
Yeah, it's weighted
50-50.
between fan votes, media, and coaches.
coaches and GMs. But then for the Eastern Conference, I'm going to go ahead and go at my Eastern center, of course. I would say the MVP right now, Joel Embiid.
Agreed.
And then at the 4, Giannis Antetokounmpo, who has the most votes in the whole entire league. And then at the 3, I'm going to go ahead and say Jason Tatum. At my backcourt or front backcourt, yeah. I'm going to say point guard will be Tyrese Halliburton, who is dominating the vote, who has the most votes for an East point guard. And then this is the tricky one, the other guard in the East. You have a lot of names up there: Trae Young, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Maxey.
I think I have a different one for you guys.
I want to give the nod to Tyrese Maxey to be my other guard in
I
the Eastern
respect it.
Conference.
I respect it.
What's yours? Who's your shooting guard in the East?
Okay, let me go from west to east real quick.
Yeah.
So for the West, I think we're all gonna have basically the same.
hmm
Wait, can you say yours again? What was your West one?
It was Jokic, Durant, LeBron, Luka,
Shea. I got the same thing.
I got the same thing.
So I think the West is pretty locked up for the West.
Okay, so you guys give your guys East.
So for the East, for the center, obviously it's Giannis. I'm not. Oh, whoa. Honestly, obviously it's
Ayo,
Embiid.
ayo.
It's Embiid, Giannis. I'm gonna give the nod to Tatum. For my two guard, I'm going Brunson. I think.
Hey, Jalen Brunson
I think
has been
Jalen
balling
Brunson.
this
I
year.
think
Interesting.
Jalen Brunson's gonna sneak in there.
He's averaging 34 over his last 5 games.
I think
by the way.
Jalen Brunson's gonna sneak in there
He's
as
going nuts.
the second guard. I think
Then
he's not gonna have the
Halliburton.
fan votes, but I think the coach votes and the media votes are voting in.
And then you're saying Halliburton.
Halliburton for point guard.
Point guard, okay.
My East center, Embiid. No surprise there. Power forward, Giannis. Also no surprise. Small forward, I'll go Tatum. I mean, shouldn't be too hard on that one.
Mhm.
Point guard, Tyrese. Also shouldn't be too hard. He's dominating the guards in votes for the East. Shooting guard, I'm going to go with Spy Dad Mitchell.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, they are the 4th seed in the East.
4 seed, and he's proven that this season, I don't know what it is, but
Cavs are hot lately.
They are hot.
They're hot. I mean, they're on a 9-game win streak, and for some reason, I'm looking at the box score, and I see Donovan Mitchell, 11 assists. Donovan Mitchell, 12 assists.
He's stepped into that point guard role since
He's-
Garland's hurt.
Yeah.
He's stepping in that role. I mean, every time I look at the box score recently, it's just been Donovan Mitchell double-doubles, double-doubles. And I don't know where it came from because he's always been looked at as a score-first guard, but I mean, if he can add that facilitation aspect to his game, shoot, I think he's up there for sure in East, not even guards, East players.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll put Spy Dad in there for shooting guard.
Yeah, that's very valid. But now moving along to our final segment of the day, the ending segment, and it's going to be our NFC and AFC championship preview and who we're picking. And of course, we've been tracking our picks throughout the playoffs. I am 7-3 so far. Aiden is 4-6, looking like the Tennessee Titans, and
Yay.
Jalen is 6-4. So in the NFC Championship game over the the Lions and the San Francisco 49ers, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
As much as I like the Lions, I'm going to take the 49ers to be your NFC champions.
This is such a tough one because the Niners looked so bad and the Lions looked so good. The Niners have about the same. I don't want to say they have this as same as. I don't think they have the same offense as the Lions in terms of like quality. I don't think they have as good of an offense as the Lions do, but their defense is miles better than the Lions. For that reason, like just the all-around roster. I mean, the Lions had the better overall roster out of the two between them and the Bucs. Niners have the better overall roster between the Niners and the Lions, so I'm going to take the Niners as well. It's tough, but home games, they mean a lot this year for some reason.
Well, seems like I'm going lone wolf here. I'm taking the Lions. Dan Campbell and that coaching staff and those players are going to bite the kneecaps off of the 49ers.
Hey, that'd be something. Moving along to the AFC Championship game in Baltimore as the Baltimore Ravens take on the Kansas City Chiefs. And, well, this is hard for me. A lot of people are picking the Baltimore Ravens to go to the Super Bowl, but I've seen this story one too many times. And, well, there's a bad man coming into Baltimore, and he sounds like Kermit the Frog, and his name is Patrick Mahomes. And, well, I think Patrick Mahomes is going to get her done. I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs to go and play in a Super Bowl rematch versus the San Francisco 49ers.
I don't know if you guys know this. You might, but do you guys know the Breaking Bad Jesse Pinkman? He can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of feel about Patrick Mahomes. He can't keep getting away with this. I don't know what it is. I mean, his wide receiver one is a rookie, Rashee Rice, and he's back in the AFC Championship game. I mean, it's unreal. But MVP Lamar has arrived this season. Their defense has emerged as probably the best defense in the league as of late. Probably the best defense still in the conference games. So for that reason, I'm going to I'm going to rock with the purple and black and pick Baltimore.
I've seen people on social media this past week praying to Lamar Jackson, begging to Lamar Jackson.
I think everyone is. No one wants to see Patrick
Lamar
Mahomes.
Jackson, please.
They are begging for Lamar Jackson to come in.
Lamar Jackson, please save us.
Lamar Jackson, please save us. I've seen so many videos, and I think that Lamar Jackson's seen them too. And for that reason, I think the Ravens go in their own stadium, Baltimore.
They have to.
It's gonna be a rocking stadium. I don't know why it's the first game on. It should be the last game on, really. I don't know why it wants. It shouldn't be at 3. It should be like 7. Yeah. But they're gonna come into Baltimore midday, sun bright for some reason, and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Probably raining because it's Baltimore, and beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Man, we can all pray, but that guy down there in Kansas City,
we can pray to God,
man.
I think anyone outside of the state of Missouri is rooting for Baltimore in this game.
I would agree.
But
I just
even have my mom voting for for the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Lamar get a ring. It'd be something he needs to cement himself as one of the best.
Yeah, and it'd be cool because 31 teams passed on him, and
he said he'd get him one.
That clip of him sleeping at the draft because no teams are picking him, and then Ravens, let's take a shot on this guy. Man. Yo, I'm gonna get a Super Bowl for you. Believe that. Mm-hmm. Goes and wins you a Super Bowl. That'd be amazing.
I just hate to sound like Chris Collinsworth, but you can't pick against Mahomes.
Yeah.
You can't pick against him. I picked against him last week. I thought the Bills would do it.
Same.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
All three have the Bills?
No, I had the 49. I had the Chiefs.
Yeah, the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
That man down there in Kansas City's a bad man.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's a funny little dude, but he's a
funny little guy.
He's a funny guy, and he's got a funny family. But
I bet you 100% we're gonna have Jason Kelce throwing hands in the stands with Baltimore fans.
I could see it, but just
blacked out, drunk Jason Kelce, shirt off, tidy whities on, just
tidy white, looking like Santa Claus.
throwing hands with Baltimore fans in the stands.
And I really don't want to see Taylor Swift 24 times.
If I see Taylor Swift swag surfing in Baltimore one more time, in Baltimore,
I don't want to sound like one of those NFL, why is Taylor Swift making sound so much? But genuinely, that swag surf almost made me turn off the game.
His swag surf was terrible.
Yeah, but that's going to wrap up episode 12
Hey, before you wrap it up, it's Jalen's birthday
Hey, happy
today.
birthday
Oh,
to
yeah,
Jalen.
I
Happy
appreciate that. I
birthday,
appreciate
Jalen.
that.
Comment down below. Happy birthday, Jalen, if you listened to this far. I doubt you did, but if you did, hey,
Comment.
happy
I
birthday.
appreciate that.
Big 19 for Jalen.
Yes,
I
sir.
completely forgot about that. I was going to give him a shout out at the start of the show, and I just completely spaced it.
Thank you. I appreciate
But
that.
hey, there we go. Hey, of course, it's been fun. Episode 12. Thanks for joining us. This has been the Roll the Tape podcast. Until next time.
Yes,
See ya.
sir.